I didn't believe in ghosts. Not the kind that rattle chains or whisper your name in the dark. But after 30 years as a homicide detective in East Hammond, I came to believe in echoes. Things that don't die. They just linger. My name's Victor Langston. I'm 63 years old, and I retired last month. Or at least I tried to. A week before I turned in my badge, a cold case file landed on my desk. No one claimed it. No timestamp, no cover sheet. Just 4 manila folders bound together with a red rubber band. 4 missing persons, teens, all from the same street, Dalton Street. I remember Dalton, burned into memory like a scar on a hand. In the late 80s, it was just another forgotten neighborhood, built over what used to be marshland. Cheap concrete, poor drainage. Locals joked you could drown in your basement if the sewer backed up. But what I found in those folders: Case 1. Gina Cordova, 16. Last seen walking her dog. Dog came back. She didn't. Case 2. Marcus Wayne, 14. Vanished after a friend's house party. Case 3. Lily Tran, 17. Disappeared during a power outage. Case 4. Andre Fields, 15. Reported missing after going to the store. 4 kids, all gone within 9 months. All from the same 3-block stretch. And this part chilled me. Each family received a letter the day after the disappearance. Same handwriting, no signature. Just the silence houses them now. I only watch, the caretaker of the forgotten. Never seen anything like it. I should have passed it off. I had 2 weeks left, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. Not because I thought I could solve it, but because nobody ever tried. So I went back to Dalton Street. Place looked dead. Most houses were condemned. Wood rotted. Window boarded. It smelled like mildew and gasoline. There was a church at one end. Its steeple collapsed. And at the other, a fenced-in lot full of rusted sewer pipes. I knocked on doors. Most were empty. One old woman, Miss Adeline, still lived there. Oxygen tank. Watched me through the screen.
You looking for them kids?
She asked before I said a word. I nodded. You remember them? She coughed.
Gina, Marcus, Lily, and Dre. Sweet kids. Dalton didn't take kindly to sweet.
What do you mean? She looked past me, toward the street.
You hear it yet?
Hear what? She didn't answer. That night, I reviewed the files again. Something odd jumped out. All the disappearances happened during periods of loud construction nearby. A new highway interchange, sewer line upgrades, storm drain repairs. All of that noise. And yet every report mentioned the exact same thing. Right before they vanished, the whole street went quiet. No cars, no dogs, no wind. Dead silence. I went down into the archives the next day, hunting for any incident reports. Found an unmarked cassette tape buried in one of the boxes, labeled Dalton 1989, Field Audio. Popped it in the player. At first, just static, then voices, cops interviewing Gina's parents. Nothing unusual. Then something eerie. A Around the 17-minute mark, you hear this low hum, faint, like the sound you get from old electric wires. Then it dips, deep and mechanical, like it's being pushed through a tunnel of wet stone. The officer says on tape, "Is that your water heater?" And the father says, "No, we don't have one." The hum continues 26 seconds, and then, all at once, it cuts, and there's nothing. That night, I couldn't sleep, not just because of the hum, but because when I played the tape again, it sounded different. The hum wasn't random. It was rhythmic, almost like breathing. I requested access to the city's sewer maintenance records. Dead ends. Most documentation from the 80s was lost during a fire in city storage. Classic. I went to Public Works, pulled a map. Dalton Street sat over the original storm drainage system, built in 1911. Underneath it, a crawl space was used for access tunnels that were long since abandoned. City had no idea what was down there now, so I went to look. It was dead at night, cold, windless. I parked a block away from the rusted gate at the end of Dalton, cut the chain, brought a flashlight, a revolver, and an old police radio. I found the manhole, heavy, old steel. Took everything in me to pry it open. I climbed down. The ladder was slick, smelled like iron and mold. At the bottom, I hit concrete. The tunnel was wide, at least 6 feet tall. An arch with brick, lined with roots. Water trickled down one side. And then I heard it. The hum. It vibrated in my jaw, not my ears. Deep and low, pulsing through the walls. Not mechanical, not electric. Alive. I kept walking. Maybe 50 yards in, I found something that made my stomach twist. A stack of kids' shoes. 4 pairs, neatly placed in a corner, like someone was waiting to come back for them. A little farther in, scratches on the wall. Names. Lily. Dre was here. It came from the floor. I turned around. That's when I saw the light, a dim, greenish glow coming from behind a crumbled portion of wall. I approached slowly. Behind the break was a chamber, large, old stone and dripping with condensation. At the center, a pit perfectly round, no ladder, just black, open space. The hum was coming from in there. And then I heard a voice.
Detective Langston.
It wasn't an echo. It was inside my head. Then others joined. Whispers. Dozens. No, hundreds. I dropped my flashlight. The hum peaked, and then silence. I don't remember crawling out. Don't remember driving home. I woke up in my bed at 9 a.m., covered in filth. Mud in my nails. Sewage in my hair. My radio still on the nightstand, and it was whispering. Not static. Voices. The department never believed me. Called it stress, retirement jitters. I turned in my badge and never looked back. But sometimes when it's quiet, too quiet, I feel it again. That low, wet hum, like something breathing beneath the floorboards. And every time I do, I check my shoes. Make sure they're not stacked by the door. If you're still listening, then maybe you're hearing it too. That low hum beneath your floorboards. The one that gets louder when you try to ignore it. Be careful. Some silences aren't empty. Some are just waiting to be heard. Until tomorrow, stay vigilant, stay curious, and as always, stay draconian. Good night.